Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. Today is going to be a quick first impressions on the Civivi Knives Synergy 3. Now you'll remember this was originally a WE Knives design. It was an integral titanium frame lock. Very, very cool. And it was based on a previous knife done by Jim O. Young, which was, if I think, the first integral knife. Now in that time, I think it was like the 90s or the early 2000s, it was done out of aluminum. Really cool, really compelling design that I'm really excited and happy that we picked up. And as we slash Civivi is wont to do, when they get a good design, they like to make the most of it. So we've seen a number of versions of the Synergy. We've seen the Mini Synergy. This lands in between the Wii full size and mini Synergy. So we'll touch on the size in a second here. Before we get to that though, let's give some of the features, because this is a bit, here's the big story for me with this knife. It's a bit of a departure from Civivi's usual, liner lock, flipper tab, bearings construction. Okay, this knife gets a few things right that I think are worth noticing. And if anyone from Civivi is watching this, it would be great to see this format used over and over again. This is a really, really nice format. So outside of this design. So let's touch on, we've got G10 here, G10 backspacer, this nice milled, concentric circle pattern in here. All right, nicely contoured G10 and a nested liner lock. The non-locking side is just G10, and this knife feels so good and so solid. This is the best handle that I have seen from Civivi. It feels so good in hand. The traction is great. The feel, the level of quality, the weight to this, really, really nice. And so I hope that Civivi takes this, not necessarily this exact design, I like this design too, but this sort of approach in terms of construction and uses it more, okay? Let me just point out too, we've got a deep carry clip that is recessed into the handle. Another great touch, something that I love to see. And so from the construction side, just the handle itself is kind of the big story for me. Up front, we have a similar blade to the one on the WE Knives Synergy that I had. This is the Tanto version, sort of this upswept tip here. There is a standard sort of full belly version without the grind here, making it a Tanto. It's flat ground Nitro V steel with a stone wash and this sort of swedge or false edge on the top. The way my thumb lands on this is actually pretty comfortable. My thumb sort of lands right here on the hump, creating a bit of a thumb ramp. And in terms of initial ergonomics, when I first grab this and try to hold it, pretty good. Action is very nice snappy action where, it's a Civivi. I kind of expected that the action would be pretty impressive from the start. Finally, oh yeah, this does ship with, I do want to show you, I do want to give you the size and weight on this, but just quickly, it ships with the standard Civivi stuff with the stickers inside. I always wonder, one, they're just random stickers. Like you never know what model is going to be in there, but I always wonder how the sticker thing got started. Like we're grown adults. I don't know, maybe it's like a throwback to our childhood where, if you did the right thing and you were a good boy, you got a sticker. I don't know. And somehow that's just like that mental imprint has carried over, so we still want stickers even today. Whatever the case may be, that's how it ships with the standard Civivi pouch, some stickers and microfiber cloth in there. Size on this, I mentioned that it was sort of between the mini and the full size. 7 and 11/16 is the overall length there, so that's just a little under 7 3/4. 3 and 3/16 on the blade. 4.5 inches is the closed length. So the blade to handle ratio is not what I'd call super impressive, but it's fine. Okay. 3 and 5/8 inches of grip area, which works fine for my large size hands, and if you have smaller hands than me, it should work fine. if you have giant monster hands, I feel like I say this in every video. If you have really, really big hands, sure, you probably have some issues, but you're probably used to that with a lot of knives. And the weight on this is 3.6 ounces, which is pretty comfortable. So what are my initial thoughts? Well, I have to say, I feel like the big story here goes back to the construction. The changes here that we're not used to seeing on a Civivi, the nested liner on the lock side, the full G10, the milling, the nice pattern here, those things are really, really good. And it kind of makes me excited, not only for this knife, this it makes this a great knife, but it also makes me excited that perhaps we'll see more of this kind of thing from Civivi, and I really, really hope we do, because this is a really, really nice construction, highly enjoyable, and I do hope that this is not the last thing that Civivi builds in this format. I got this from White Mountain Knives. You should too. You can use my discount code SHARPSTUFF. That'll save you 10%, and it also helps the channel. So doing that is definitely a win-win. Again, I'll thank you for watching, and just reiterate how excited I am about the construction of this in particular, and how, man, I hope Civivi does a bunch of stuff with a very similar approach. All right, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.